Begum Beliquis Durrani, mother of AJ Durrani, our current HCDP Precinct Chair for Precinct 0899 and previous SD17 SDC member and Texas DNC committeeman. Larry Johnson, father of State Representative Jarvis Johnson, House District 139. We also like to recognize the Texas storm victims, winter storm victims, the COVID-19 victims, and also, unfortunately, recently, the people who are remaining missing in Florida due to the collapse of the condo. So I'll have a moment of silence in remembrance of those. Thank you, everyone. At this time, I'd also like to give the opportunity to our former and illustrious Harris County Democratic Party Chair, Billy Schechter, for some closing remarks.
Thank you, Rose, so much for being the chair for this meeting tonight. It's such an important meeting where we're going to elect our new party chair. I am really excited about everything we have all done together at the party over the last 4 years. I think the party is in incredible shape, and I'm so excited and so dedicated to the party that I'm actually talking to Jonathan Miller right now, the Senate District 15 chair, to make sure that I can be the precinct chair for Precinct 33, because I do believe in the Democratic Party so strongly. And everything we've done over the last 4 years is to build the party to make it better and better. We started off with 3 full-time staff in 2017 in our office over off 610. We moved it to the heart of 5th Ward, moved it to a year-round operation with somewhere between 7 and 12 staffers, depending on what's going on, and raised close to $5 million. And more importantly, elected Democrats up and down the ballot in a midterm election and a general election. So everything we're doing is gearing up now for the 2022 election. So it's so incredibly important tonight that you vote for your next party chair who can take the party to the next level and make sure that we continue to keep Harris County blue and win up and down the ballot. And as I was saying earlier, I'm so dedicated to that. I'm going to be a precinct chair as well, so that I can continue to fight with y'all to make sure that we keep Harris County blue. I'm going to say this, and you'll hear me say this over and over and over again. If we do not hold our ground in Harris County in 2022, our statewide options look very bleak. So everything we're doing right now should be gearing up for the 2022 election so that we re-elect Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo and Commissioner Adrian Garcia, so that we continue to hold Commissioner's Court and that we re-elect all of our judges up and down the ballot. So I want to ask everyone tonight, if you're not a sustaining member of the party, please become a sustaining member of the party. Please make sure that you're going to all of our trainings and make sure that you are getting prepared for the 2022 election, because everything we do is so critical for that. And the reason Harris County has been so successful, y'all, is because we have a great team of precinct chairs, HCDP staff, elected officials, donors, activists, and we all work together to make sure that we win elections and vote in amazing progressive Democrats. So let's continue doing the great work. I love y'all. I'm not going away. As I said, I'll be around. I'm here to help the next party chair do whatever they need to do. And I'll be around to make sure that we're successful in 2022 as well. So thank you to Team HCDP. They're all on here, and absolutely amazing staff people who make these CECs as seamless as possible. And so I want everyone to bear with us tonight. We have 347 people on the Zoom tonight, because that's how important it is to elect our new Harris County Democratic Party chair. So thank you all for everything. Rose, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Give her a round of applause. Okay, now we're going to go over some housekeeping rules. If you'll bring up the slide for housekeeping rules. Okay, these are our housekeeping rules, and then we'll also go into some of the voting procedures. What's most important is to please keep your mics muted. If you're not sure how to keep your mics muted, there's a little diagram for you that shows right there on your, basically your left hand, the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you'll just click on that. For the verification purposes, we'll also be taking pictures of all the precinct chairs on this Zoom call. So just give us a few seconds and we're going to go from screen to screen to make sure we've captured everybody. So if you will unmute or show your video, the video icon is right next to the mute icon. So if everybody at this time will unmute or show your video, and then we will take a couple of screenshots, and I'll let you know when you can stop showing your video.
Okay, I'm going to count to 3. Okay. One on the first, we have a couple of pages. So on the first page, 1, 2, 3. Okay, going to the next page, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, for this next page, 1, 2, 3. Okay, our next page, 1, 2, 3. Next page, 1, 2, 3. Next page, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Well, if we could pause on the chat, because when the chat comes up, it blocks some of the boxes. So let's pause on the chat until after the pictures are taken. Okay, so on this page, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Next, 1, 2, 3. Next page, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then our last page, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Savannah. That's just just, I noticed that there were some comments in the chat about how we are verifying, and sometimes when people switch from page to page. As you were checking in, the party staff was in fact verifying each of you to make sure that you are the person who is designated to be on this call and eligible to vote. So this is just a second kind of security system that we are using. So we do recognize that the comments that were made earlier. Okay, the next thing is, please use the raise hand feature if there's something that you would like to discuss. If you'll notice on your screen, this is where you can find the raise hand feature. Basically, you click on the participant box. Then there will come another screen will come up, and if you'll notice, it says raise the hand. You must be acknowledged in order to be able to speak. Now we're going to go over how the voting process will continue. Go ahead. Once it has been announced that the polls are open, you will see a poll that appear on your screen. This is basically, I certify that the person casting this vote is the actual precinct chair and not someone casting on that person's behalf. I understand that proxy voting is prohibited at CEC meeting. Thus, I am not casting this vote as a proxy for any other person. Then you will have the opportunity to vote for candidate 1, 2, 3, or 4, or however many candidates we would have on the ballot.
Will we have an opportunity
Next
to ask
slide.
questions?
Just a moment. Housekeeping rules. Please keep your mics muted. Please turn on your video. Please keep your video on. Please use the raise hand feature locked at the bottom in the participant box. Once acknowledged by the chair, you will be unmuted and permitted to speak. Once the polls are open, please make your selection and submit those. Thank you. Okay, I don't know who.
There's a raised hand. Do you want to look at those?
Yes, let me go ahead and go through the raised hand. I believe that Colin was the first one to raise their hand. Colin?
I guess I was just wondering if we would have an opportunity to ask the candidates a few questions.
I'm sorry, no, we would not have the opportunity to ask the candidates questions. Each candidate will be given 10 minutes to speak on their candidacy, but there will be no opportunity from the members of the CEC to ask them any questions. There was already a question and answer type of forum that was presented, was given everybody an opportunity to ask the candidates and submit questions to the candidates prior to this meeting. The next person, I believe. The next person is Janet, precinct 333. Sorry, Janet, my screen doesn't allow me to see your full last name. Janet, you want to go ahead and unmute your mic from precinct 333?
I actually accidentally hit the hand button, so I don't have a question.
Okay, thank you. Next will be Joe Kahn from precinct 545. Joe, if you'll unmute your mic.
Yes. Yes, I support.
You had a question, Joe?
No, I'm just.
All right. The next one is from precinct 890, Joy.
My camera wasn't activated when y'all were taking the screenshots. So am I still was I verified properly?
Yes, we have you verified. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next, I have Charlene from precinct 898. Charlene, did you have a question? Okay. Next, I'll go to Augustine Martinez. Augustine, what is your precinct number?
283.
Thank you. You had a question, Augustine?
No, I just wanted to verify if I was accurate, if I was taken into roll.
Okay, we have you down. Thank you very much. Next, we have Etta Crockett, precinct 109. Etta, you had a question? Okay, I'll go back to precinct 171, Michelle.
Yes, well, you identified me. I just wanted to make sure that I was also counted. I came in a little late.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle. We have you counted. Okay.
Rose? Hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry. I'm just now getting in on this. I apologize for the wait.
Antonio Maldonado, we have you listed now as being present. Thank you.
Thank you.
Precinct 0210, Alfred.
I was verifying whether I was counted.
Okay, we have you counted now, Alfred. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay, at this time, I would like us to proceed on to give everybody an opportunity to hear from the candidates at this time. Hold on a quick second. Yes. At this time, hold on, I lost my screen here for a second. I will open the floor to nominations for Harris County Democratic Party Chair. Are there any nominations? Okay, hold on a quick second. I lost my screen here. Okay. All right, I have Precinct Chair Willie Balboon, Precinct 158, Willie Bell.
Hello there. I would like to, I would make the motion. I would like to nominate Otti Tavagaro to be the next chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boone. The name of Otis has been submitted into nominations. It does not require a nomination, does not require a second. Are there any other nominations?
Okay. Can you change the spotlights now?
Madam Chair, Mr. Wade has his hand up. 413.
Can you speak?
Wow.
Yes, I am Jerome Seaberger, Precinct Chair for 512. I have the honor to nominate Ted Weisssler, Harris County Chair. I've known Ted since. Is that it?
Thank you for that. The name of Ted Weisssler has been placed into nomination. Are there any other nominations? Okay. At this time, I've been informed that There can be no nominations, additional nominations, due to the rules of the Texas Democratic Party and the Harris County Democratic Party, that nominations must have been submitted in writing, notarized application prior to this meeting. And at this time, these are the only two candidates who have fulfilled that obligation and that notification. So at this time, I will declare that the nominations are closed. We will next have the opportunity for each of the candidates will be given 10 minutes to either speak themselves or have someone speak on their behalf as to their nominations. We will start first with Ted Weisssler. He will be the first candidate to be allowed to speak, and he will be given 10 minutes, or he may use it himself or designate someone to speak on his behalf for a total of 10 minutes.
I can.
Hello, my name's Jerome Seaberger. I'm precinct chair for 512. I have the honor of nominating Ted Weisssler for the office of Harris County Chair. Known Ted since the mid-70s. He was our big brother to me and my siblings. At the time, Ted was the campus activity advisor at the U of H Central Campus. He later was founder of Leisure Learning Unlimited. He acquired a lot of skills there. I feel that Ted Weisssler is the best candidate for the office of Harris County Democratic Chair. He has decades more experience, knowledge, enthusiasm for the job. Please elect Ted Weisssler, Harris County Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Robert Randall next. If you can unmute yourself.
My name is Bob Randall. I'm a community organizer who helped create Urban Harvest. I've known Ted for 40 years and know about skills he can provide HCDP. First, he comes from a labor organizing family, learned to advocate for fairness and justice as a child. He spent most of his work life as an activist and an advocate for and supplier of adult education. As such, he talked to me into teaching a class in sustainable gardening that turned into a huge project, which has touched much of Houston area and most of my life. I've seen Ted do this with people from all walks and backgrounds. He figures out their skills and assets, appreciates them, talks them into sharing them. He's a good recruiter. He's also an outstanding marketer. He has tried to influence more people to get involved in more good things in one or another community or neighborhood than anyone else I've ever met. And he constantly assesses how effective one strategy or another is. Finally, he's a very hard worker and believes deeply in the promise of our nation at its best. And he has been active in most democratic and progressive campaigns and causes for the 40 years I've known him. As I see it, these are talents the party really needs. So thank you all for working to make our lives better.
Thank you. Next, we have James Allen. James, if you're on the Zoom, you have to mute yourself. Next, we have OBDK.
Hello. Hello, I am DK Kamau, and I have known Ted, I was trying to figure it out, at least 20 to 25 years. I basically have to echo what the previous speakers have said. I have known Ted as an activist, a person who deals with an amazing number of organizations and causes. He puts his whole heart into whatever he does. I knew him in particular through working with KPFT. He served on the board. And I also know that he is about justice and fairness. I think he will, I know for sure how hard he works. And I think he will do a great job for Harris County Democrats. And Harris County Democrats play a crucial role in the upcoming election. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Susan Moreno. Susie Moreno? No. Okay. Next, we have Reverend Brunyario. Next, we have Bertie Simmons.
My name is Bertie Simmons, and I've known Ted for several years. I was an educator and an author, and when I was the principal at Fur High School, Ted came out and worked with my students. He taught them part of the Robert's Rules of Order, and he taught them how to write bylaws. And the thing that amazed me about Ted was he volunteered his services there, and he would show up every day when he was scheduled to be there. My kids would rush to him because they were eager to learn from him, and he did amazing work. It is my opinion that number of people that I have observed over I'm an old woman, and I've watched people a long time. He's one of the most dedicated individuals with whom I've ever worked. So you can't go wrong by voting for Ted. I think he's going to make Harris County dark blue.
Thank you. Next, we have Alan Beltran.
Hi. I haven't known Ted as long as the other people on this call. I'm currently a junior in college, but I met Ted in high school. And even with that short time, I can say confidently that few people have had as much of a positive impact on my life as Ted has. He has never once failed to be excellent in his leadership, his mentorship, his friendship, and his general character as a person, because he listens. He has his own ideas, but like any great leader, he knows how to take input and put together the best for the most. He cares. He cares deeply about his community, and he does so much that I'm honestly amazed at how much he does around this city and how many people he knows. He knows his stuff, and he constantly impresses me with how much he knows about history, and more importantly, why knowing that history matters, why learning from it is so vital to progressing, and where to begin that work. Make no mistake, to me and to countless others around this community, and even larger than that, Ted has reliably proven himself as a leader, and I have no doubt in his ability to succeed.
Thanks. Next, we have Anita Jaffarelli.
Hello, precinct chairs. I am Anita Jaffarelli. I'm a teacher at DeBakey High School. Ted Weisssler, I, and you have something in common. We take on a lot of thankless jobs for virtually no pay. And I think it's because we care and we want to make a Ted and I have been working together as advisors of the DeBakey High School Interact Club for actually over 5 years now. And Ted has been so dedicated. He's dedicated to everyone and everything he puts his mind to. Under Ted, I've seen these students like Alan Beltran, turn into amazing.
Anita, if you could unmute yourself.
Every day, this always happens. Okay. Hello, precinct chairs. You, Ted Weisssler, and I have something in common. I'm actually a teacher at DeBakey High School, and as a teacher, one of the things I do and one of the things that you do is we take on thankless jobs for no pay, and Ted does this all the time. And I think it's because we care and we want to make a difference. So Ted and I have been working together as advisors of the DeBakey High School Interact Club for actually over 5 years now. And Ted has been dedicated from day one. I mean, he has been with the kids. Alan is one of the kids. He's so dedicated to everyone and everything he puts his mind to. Under Ted, I've seen these students like Alan Beltran, turn into amazing leaders. He knows our DeBakey students are brilliant students, and he always urges them to be the absolute best they can be. So I can't say much more than what everybody else has already said, but Ted Weisssler wants to change the world, and I hope you give him that chance to do that here as the chair of HCDP. Thank you.
Thank you, and now we'll hear from Ted.
And how much time do I have?
1 minute and 15 seconds.
There you go. I feel like I just died and went to my own funeral. I've never heard so many nice things said about myself. When I first came to Houston, I had 2 job offers. One was to be a union organizer with my dad's union. The other was to become a campus activities advisor at the University of Houston. Because of concerns about nepotism, I decided to take the job at the University of Houston. One of the first people that got me involved or spoke to me after I announced that I was going to apply for this job said, "You need to be a fundraiser." Well, I think that we've all discovered that lots of time is wasted in bad meetings. One of my skills is in running good meetings. That begins with very, very precise and well-developed agendas. I plan on doing that and much more to raise money for the Harris County Democratic Party. I think we can do amazing things together. It will be both of us, all of us working together. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to my friends.
Thank you, Ted. Now back to Rose.
Thank you very much. At this time, we will hear from our next candidate, Obis. Just a moment.
First we have, let me start the timer. Since folks are so concerned about time. But we know how to use technology here. Chris Hollings, are you on the Zoom?
I am. Good evening, Harris County Democrat.
One second. All right, Chris.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to join you tonight, and in doing so, to encourage you to elect my friend Otti Tavagaro as the next chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. Otis's story is the story of Houston. Arriving here with his family at a young age, thriving as he came up through local public schools, and going on to the University of Houston, where he quickly became a leader of the College Democrats. Otis's first job out of college was with Harris Democrats, and his work was instrumental to our sweep of every countywide office in 2018, the first time Democrats had a midterm victory here in decades. In addition to installing dozens of Democratic judges, that sweep gave us a majority at Commissioner's Court and enabled every progressive change that we've seen in Harris County since. But as Lily mentioned earlier, now all of that much needed progress hangs in the balance, and we must submit our victory from 2018 in 2022 if we don't want to see everything that we've achieved rolled back. But victory is not going to be handed to us. Republicans are going to fight us tooth and nail, and with every dirty trick in the book. Victory will require us to be united around real leadership, true vision, and trusted stewardship of our resources in the largest coordinated campaign that Harris County has ever seen. The person to get us there is Otti Tavagaro. He's been there before, and it's my earnest hope that you will elect Otis tonight to lead us through 2022 and beyond. Onward with Otis. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Silky Malick.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Silky Malick, and I'm the precinct chair for Precinct 60. I want to talk about Otis and why I know he's the person we need leading the Democratic Party here in Harris County. Last year, when he told me he was going to run and asked me to be his treasurer, I was filled with so many emotions. Firstly, fear, because I'm terrible at keeping secrets. But really, I was immediately so excited and thrilled about Otis being at the helm of HCDP. If you've ever talked to him, you know Otis has never met a stranger. He's got a proven track record of building progressive coalitions and fighting for progressive policies, both here in Houston and in our capital. He's always down to fight for what's right, and he's right there with every Houstonian looking to challenge the status quo and get into a little bit of good trouble. Otis is not only the man with the plan for keeping Harris County blue, he's the man with the heart and soul to keep our party true to itself and to lead the way to finally turning Texas blue. I support Otis 100%, and I hope you will too.
Next, we have Adrian Ozuna.
Good evening. I'm Adrian Ozuna, the chair of 296. We talk about inclusion. We talk about meeting voters where they're at. We talk about messaging that matters to ordinary people. These are values that Otis lives. The Democratic Party is about coalitions. Otis understands this and has realistic plans for Harris County to build on the foundation here and expand outreach to grow our base. Experience, insight, wisdom beyond his years. He's young, but he understands party politics with 2 cycles at the ledge, running the coordinated campaign and another campaign. The party is in the best shape it's been at in Harris County, but we have to build on our successes, as mentioned before, and make sure that we keep those gains. Otis understands that and can meet that challenge. That is why I'm supporting Otis to be the next chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. And I hope you will too. Thank you.
Next, we have Adonica.
Thank you, precinct chairs and fellow Democrats, for joining us. I met Otis many years ago when he was interning for the party. Over time, we've developed a friendship and a mutual respect for one another, personally and professionally. Otis campaigned strongly for this position. He made an effort to contact every precinct chair, Senate district chair, numerous Democrats who weren't even eligible to vote for him, to introduce himself, discuss why he wanted to run for chair, and most importantly, to explain his vision for the party if elected. He is the perfect example of a role model for this generation and the next generation becoming more involved in politics and making a difference. From an intern to the communications director, to the chief of staff, I've watched him become the man who have studied, listened, created, and stepped up. While working at the party, his leadership with the GOTV and the coordinated campaign can be contributed to many successes during the election. This type of enthusiasm is needed. This type of experience is needed. And his commitment for the upcoming 2020 vision for the election, this is what we need for now and beyond. In this moment, at this time, Otis is the best candidate for the position. This is why I'm supporting him, and this is why I hope you will support him as well. Thank you for listening.
Thanks. Next, we have Lenora.
Hi, my name is Lenore Sorolla Pullman. I am precinct chair for 204, as well as your party treasurer. And I'm proud to say that I have been a mentor for Otis. I am supporting Otis as county chair. I first met Otis when he was a volunteer for the party. He became an intern. He went through the Leadership Academy. He became the community fellow and director. Youth is our future. And with that, please join me in supporting and voting for Otis as our next precinct, as our next county chair. Thank you.
Next, we have Representative John Rosenthal.
Thank you so much. And I really am honored to be in this spot to, and I don't have anything prepared. I'm going to speak from my heart. And I'm just going to tell you about this man. Otis operates out of love. Otis and I have been so close over these last few years, and he helped me win my first election when I didn't know what the heck I was doing. He would come over here and guide me. And so I just have to tell you, he's brilliant. He's laid out his vision for us. And I believe in the vision that he's laid out. And if you want to win elections in this county, I can think of no better person to guide our party. His ability to network and outreach is unparalleled, and I am so honored to, I hope he's got time left to speak. I want to introduce to you the next chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, my brother, my colleague, Otti Tavagaro.
Next, we have Otis.
Oh, good evening, everyone. It is great to see you. Thank you so much for the wonderful words that you all have said about me. It's truly humbling and overwhelming. And simply all I have to say is, look, we're going to win. 2022 is going to be tough, but we're going to win. I truly believe that. I believe that we are going to win. With that said, my name is Otti Tavagaro. I'm running to be your next Harris County Democratic Party chair.
All right, thank you, everyone. I know he still has 2 minutes left, but he chose not to use those 2 minutes. At this time, I just want to address some of the items that are in the chat. The Texas Democratic Party rules and the Harris County Party rules, although they require that a candidate be nominated by a member of the CEC, and that is members of the County Executive Committee. Anybody who wants to speak on behalf of the candidate they do not, by the party rules, do not need to be a member of the Executive Committee. They just need to be nominated by a member of the Executive Committee. So I just wanted to clarify that. And all right. Okay, also, if we can go ahead and pause the chat for a few minutes. Just a quick second. Let me take a quick little second to break to make sure that now we have, I see some hands are raised. I will address you in just a moment. We're just doing some, now that the speeches are over, we're doing some background business. Just a quick second. At this time, Precinct Chair 0289, Mohammed, you had a question?
Sorry, Madam Chair, I'll lower my hand.
You'll unmute yourself.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I'm going to lower my hand. Just wanted to say that I support Otis for this election, but that part is over now.
I'm sorry. Any speeches or any comments concerning a particular candidate are out of order. The speech time limit has exceeded. So if you raise your hand, it is to raise your hand, and I will acknowledge you if you have a question, but I will not acknowledge you if you have a kind of a speech to speak on behalf of any of the candidates. Thank you.
Problem. Just to clarify, I raised my hand before the time was up, but I was not acknowledged, but I take it.
All right, thank you. Precinct Chair 697, Robert, I'm sorry, you had a question?
Just acknowledging that I am here for purposes of attendance. I overslept a little bit and was late.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We have you listed. Sorry, Precinct Chair, 677 Bertie Parks.
Yes, can we call the question?
The question does not need to be called. I had declared that the nominations were closed. The speeches have ended, and we are just doing a little bit of housekeeping on our end, just to ensure that we have, because of the fact that of the nomination process, we did allow some people access to be able to speak on behalf of a candidate that was not a member of the CEC. Now we're doing some housekeeping to clean up the people who are eligible to participate. So if everyone would just bear with us for just a few seconds while we do that, and then we will continue on with the voting process. And I will once again go over that process with everyone. Jonathan, Precinct 123, you had a question?
Yeah, sorry, this is for, I'm seeing it in the chat. Precinct Chair Janice Weaver of 698 is saying that she cannot get in. This is on the YouTube chat.
I'm sorry, which precinct chair was that?
698. Yes, 698.
698. Okay. I know that there are still some precinct chairs who are reaching out to us stating that we have sent them links throughout this whole call multiple times. And I know that they're still having process challenges accessing it. So that's one of the reasons why we're also trying to ensure that everybody is reached out to us. But thank you for bringing that to our attention, Jonathan.
I know you're muted, right?
Yes, I'm talking to staff right now, so thank you. Well, we're waiting for some additional technical challenges to be rectified. I do also want to make a note that there have been some precinct chairs who had reached out to the party. So I want to ensure that everybody who's had an opportunity and who is eligible to vote does have that opportunity to vote. We've made arrangements for those who may have had challenges with Zoom to be verified who they were, which was just a very small handful, and they will be able to cast their vote as well, and their vote will be counted. Okay, so now we are ready to proceed with the voting. I also want to remind everybody that we will be using the online polling method as a method of voting. We will go ahead, and before we do that, we will be given approximately 5 minutes to have the polls open and to give everybody an opportunity to vote. Before I bring the poll up, I just want to give everybody the numbers. On the call, there is a total of 359 precinct chairs currently on the call. So that is the number. You will be able to vote for candidate A, B, or the opportunity to abstain as well. So those are the options that you will be able to have that will be listed on your ballot.
Hello?
Okay, before we proceed, there are some phone numbers that we need to verify that are on the call, and we will ask that you confirm your verified.
I thought we said if people couldn't use the poll, they were emailing their vote.
Hi, excuse me, this is Precinct Chair 649, Lola Taylor. So A will be for Ted.
Can the person with the phone number, the last 3 digits are 455, come off mute and let us know your name? Someone's called in from a number starting with 281 and ending with 455. Okay. Next number starts with 346 and ends with 450. If you could come off mute and let us know your name.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Trish Tarhini.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Latrish Tarhini for Precinct 17.
Thank you. The next number starts with 832 and ends in 074. If you could come off mute and let us know your name. Could the person whose number starts with 713 and ends in 682 come off mute and let us know your name?
Would you repeat that number again, the last number?
Sure, just give me a few minutes.
The last number starts with 713 and ends in 682. I cannot see the full number, but folks who are called in on their cell phone and aren't able to change their name will be kicked out before we start voting. So if you're able to come off mute and verify your name, we will count your vote. If not, we will have another way for you to cast your vote if you are a precinct chair.
Madam Chair. This is Clara Caldwell. Precinct 0392. I am on my cell phone, so I just wanted to let you know.
Hello?
Thank you, Clara. We see your name has changed, so be happy to verify.
Thank you. All right, thanks.
We also have Latrish, Susan. Thank you. These are okay. Back to you, Rose.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for bearing with us. This is a new process for us all to be able to vote online. And we thank you once again for being patient with us. At this time, I will go ahead and ask the staff to release the poll so everybody can have an opportunity to vote. It is 8:14 p.m. and we will have the poll up for people to vote. We will give 5 minutes for voting. So if the party staff can go ahead and release the poll to vote. Thank you.
I have a question.
I'm sorry, Clint, precinct 421, did you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify. You stated earlier there are 350 some more participants that are eligible to vote. The participants at the bottom of the screen says 378. So I just wanted to clarify there are over approximately 20 some more people that are not eligible to vote.
Yes, what it does include, that includes party staff, that includes volunteers that are helping us on the back end. So you may see 378 participants. Those are people who are logged in, but does not mean that those are all precinct chairs. Only 359 precinct chairs are eligible to vote.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, just give us a second. We're getting ready to put the poll up in just a quick second. Yes, I'm ready.
Hello?
Okay, at this time, just to remind everybody, I do see some hands raised. We're in the process of voting, so I will not be taking any questions right now while we're in the process of voting. It is, once again, it's a 5-minute poll.
Yeah. Hello? So they don't want me to talk, but I'm
There are some of you in the chat that are expressing you're having challenges seeing the poll. What you could do is, there's a couple of things you can do. You could either, just a quick second. If you are having challenges seeing the poll, Savannah has put her email address in the chat. So if you will send her an email indicating your vote, we will record your vote. And that is savannah@harrisdemocrats.com.
You need that string for your shorts?
You told me you was gonna put it in there, but then the other day, I haven't got it in there. I haven't found the shirt, the
You
short.
haven't brought me the shorts.
Hello.
Thank you, everyone. The poll has now closed and we will announce the results in just a few minutes. In addition to announcing the results of the polls, the results will also be listed on the Harris County Democratic Party website for viewing.
It's gonna be a landslide anyway.
All right, thank you everyone again for once again your patience. I can't express that enough throughout the evening. The results are as follows. Ted, 32 votes. Obus, 306. Abstain, 9 votes. 347 precinct chairs had cast their votes. At this time, I announce that Obus Tavagaro is our new Harris County Democratic Party chair. Congratulations, Obus. We'll turn the meeting over to Obus in just a few seconds.
Congratulations.
And okay. Okay, at this time, we are getting someone on the line to do the swearing in of Otti Tavagaro. Okay. I would like to, okay, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Obus to give a couple of remarks, and then we will continue with the swearing in process. Obus.
What is up, Harris County Democratic Party? Thank you so much for supporting me. I am humbled. I am overwhelmed. And most importantly, I'm ready. I know we have a tough road ahead of us, and we're going to do it. We're going to win. I believe that we are going to win. We're going to center around our coalitions around people. We are going to invest in our precincts, and we are going to impact policy to make sure every Texan life is better. Hi, Mom and Dad. I know you're watching. Thank you so much for having the belief in me, for giving me the confidence to be in this world that can be cruel sometimes. Because of you two, Ruman, Owen, myself, being in your household, the way that you've taught us, trained us to go forth and prosper, don't settle, be confident. But most importantly, what you taught us three was to always think of others. That's why I want this job. It's because my heart is to think of others. I know what it's like to be disenfranchised. I know what it's like to be marginalized. I know what it's like to be voiceless. But that's going to end. That's going to end. Harris County Democratic Party Precinct Chairs, thank you so much. I'm honored. I am humbled. I'm ready. Let's get to
Got a special guest.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for those remarks. Before we do the swearing-in process, I do want to take a moment of personal privilege to thank, to thank Ted and all of those who have considered running for chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. To be chair of the party and to put your life on hold or to be considered is a very, very challenging, especially when you're so passionate. So I want to thank not only Obis, but also Ted and anybody else who may have considered running for this position. Thank you for your consideration. And at this time, I would like to introduce our special guest, the chair of the Texas Democratic Party, Chairman Gilberto Hinojosa.
Thank you so much. Let me just say a few words before I swear in the new chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. I first of all want to thank outgoing Chairwoman Lily Schechter for an outstanding terms as chair of the Harris County Democratic Party. She took this party from a party that was winning to a party that was overwhelming the opposition to where today in Harris County, we have Democrats at every countywide office and continuously rack up the margin statewide for Democrats across the state of Texas. Lily has given all her time and soul to this job for several years, and we wish her the best in the future. And also, I want to talk just a second about the new chair, or about the job that you are about to undertake. As we well know, today in the state of Texas and all across America, we are being attacked by Republicans at every level in terms of trying to take away our right to vote. And the reason why they want to take our right to vote away is not because they believe that there has been fraud in the electoral process, but because they have seen that rising minorities across the state of Texas, particularly in the state, particularly in Harris County, are beginning to vote at numbers that are unprecedented. This is what has caused the Republican Party to decide that they want to take away our democratic right to vote. This fight is against voter suppression by the Republicans is taking place in three fronts. One, you saw it about a month ago when the Texas legislature, the Democrats in the Texas legislature decided to walk away from this institution that was violating all the rules of the legislative process to force this voter suppression bill down our throats and destroyed a quorum and destroyed the bill. And continuing that fight in Washington, D.C., along with now the Freedom Riders who are traveling up to D.C. or have traveled to D.C. to demonstrate against these voter suppression bills and also challenging Congress to pass voting right bills in H.R. 1 and H.R. 4. The second front obviously is going to be in the courthouse when we're going to be filing lawsuits, as we already have started here in Texas and in Georgia, to defeat this legislation, voter suppression legislation, as a violation of our United States Constitution, fundamental right to vote. And finally, most importantly, and that relates directly to what your challenge is, Otis, Chair, we can fight this fight and win it in the precincts all across Harris County and the state of Texas. What we need to do to ensure that this voter suppression effort does not succeed is to register people to vote, challenge them to go out and vote, engage them on the process of and the importance of the right to vote and how it affects our families and the future of our community. If we get out there and knock on doors, make the phone calls, organize, it doesn't matter what the Republican Party does in terms of voter suppression. We can beat them at the ballot box no matter what. That is your challenge, Chairman. And I believe that you are up to that challenge. And I think Harris County is very fortunate to have you as their new leader for the Democratic Party. So with that, I would ask you respectfully to raise your right hand. I don't see you, there you are. And I want you to repeat after me. I don't know if you've got a copy of the oath in front of you. If you do not, I will take it section by section so that we don't get lost here, because I have done this 1,000 times and it's sometimes hard to follow.
Thank you, Chairman.
Right. I state your name.
I, Otti Tavagaro,
swear or affirm.
Swear and affirm.
That I will truly perform.
That I will truly perform.
The duties of the office.
The duties of the office.
Of Harris County Democratic Party Chair.
Of Harris County Democratic Party Chair.
That during my term of office.
That during my term of office.
I will support the nominees.
I will support the nominees.
Of the Democratic Party.
Of the Democratic Party.
And I will not support nominees of any other.
And I will not support nominees of any other
political party.
Or
any independent candidate for public office.
Or any independent candidate for public office.
In violation of the rules of the Texas Democratic Party.
In violation of the rules of the Texas Democratic Party.
And I will work actively.
And I will work actively.
To help elect Democratic candidates.
To help elect Democratic candidates.
For public office. In all elections. During my term of office. I am aware of the provisions.
Of
the rules of the Texas Democratic Party. Requiring that I be removed from office. If I publicly support or endorse. An opposing party or nominee of an opposing party. I swear or affirm. That I have not voted in a primary election. Or participated in a convention. Or of another party. During this voting year. I hereby affiliate myself. With the Democratic Party. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. Chairman. Welcome to the team.
Way to go, Otis.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman.
Otis.
Congratulations,
Otis. We love you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Otis.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Otis.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Otis.
Congratulations.
Did it, Chair.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chairman
Way to
Hinojosa.
go.
Felicitaciones.
Felicitaciones,
Thank you, Madam
Otis.
Chair.
Congratulations, Otis.
Felicidades, Chair Otis. Yes.
Congratulations,
Sí se puede, sí se puede.
Congratulations,
Sí se
Chairman
puede.
Otis. You the man, Otis. You the man.
Thank you all so much.
And congratulations, Otis, and thanks to Ted for being a contestant too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chairman Hinojosa, for the kind words and swearing me in. I also want to take a point of personal privilege to thank Lily Schechter for the service to the Chief Davis Party for 4 years. I got to be in the front seat with her 4 years ago, and it was quite the ride. So thank you so much, Lily. Now that all of the stuff is gone with, we will now proceed with the remainder of the items on the agenda approved by the steering committee at its meeting on June 13th, 2021. The next item on the agenda is consideration of certain administrative resolutions and motions relating to the election of the new county chair. For that, I recognize Jerry Bernberg, Chair of Precinct 730 and General Counsel of the Harris County Democratic Party.
Wait, first, congratulations, Otis, and I'm so delighted to welcome you into the ranks of chairs of the Harris County Democratic Party. And I also want to say just real quickly how delighted I was to hear Lily Schechter indicate that she is going to become a precinct chair. That's the first thing I did, by the way, when I stepped down as county chair, was become a precinct chair, because it's my view that the precinct chair is a far more important position than county chair. And it's because the precinct chairs are the ones that really make things happen. Now, the reason that I'm here next in the program is because there are a couple of administrative resolutions and administrative pieces of business that we have to take care of immediately upon the election of a new county chair. And therefore, in my capacity as the precinct chair of 730, I move the following resolutions. They should appear as if by magic through screen sharing right now. So the first resolution is a resolution authorizing the substitution of Otis Tavagaro as a signatory on bank accounts of the Harris County Democratic Party and its committees. And it reads, whereas Lily Schechter has resigned as chair of the Harris County Democratic Party and as treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Federal PAC and as campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee, and whereas by vote of the Harris County Democratic Party Executive Committee at a duly called and conducted meeting of the Executive Committee occurring on June 27th, 2021, Otis Tavagaro has been duly elected chair of the Harris County Democratic Party and as treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Federal PAC and as campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Executive Committee. Now, therefore, premises considered, the County Executive Committee of the Harris County Democratic Party does hereby authorize Otis Tavagaro to sign checks and all other documents and instruments on or relating to all bank accounts of and in the name of the Harris County Democratic Party and its committees, including specifically without limitation accounts ending in 1150, 1161, and 1051 at the Amalgamated Bank, and account number ending in 5792 at Texas First Bank. And the County Executive Committee of the Harris County Democratic Party is hereby authorized and direct Lenora Sorolla Pullman, treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party, Audrey Lawton Evans, secretary of the Harris County Democratic Party, and Otis Tavagaro, chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, to take all steps necessary or appropriate to add Otis Tavagaro as an authorized signatory on each of the above identified bank accounts and all other accounts of the Harris County Democratic Party which may be hereafter created or established, to remove Lily Schechter as an authorized signatory thereon in an orderly manner, and to take all steps and actions to execute all documents, instruments, resolutions, signature cards, and certifications as may be necessary or convenient to achieve and carry out the intent of this resolution. I so move. Is there a second? There is. There is a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The resolution passes. There is a second resolution.
Unmute.
All right. There is another resolution. This is one designating and authorizing party officers to take action to facilitate transition and transfer of authority to the new county chair. Whereas at a meeting of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee held on June 27, 2021, Otis Tavagaro was elected chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Federal PAC, and campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Executive Committee in place of Lily Schechter, who had resigned those positions as of June 16, 2021. Now, therefore, premises considered, the County Executive Committee of the Harris County Democratic Party is hereby authorized and empower Audrey Lawton Evans, Secretary of the Harris County Democratic Party, Lenora Sorolla Pullman, Treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party, and Otis Tavagaro, Chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, to take all acts and execute all documents and instruments necessary and proper to effectuate and transfer and facilitate the transfer and transition of the powers and authorities, Chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, from Lily Schechter to Otis Tavagaro. I so move. Is there a second? There is a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The final resolution is a resolution designating Otis to replace Lily Schechter as treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Federal Political Action Committee and as campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee, whereas Lily Schechter is resigned as chair of the Harris County Democratic Party and as treasurer of the Harris County Party Federal PAC and as campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee, and whereas Otis Tavagaro has been duly elected chair of the Harris County Democratic Party by vote of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee conducted on June 27, 2021. Now, therefore, premises considered, the County Executive Committee of the Harris County Democratic Party is hereby elect and designate Otis Tavagaro as treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Federal PAC, and the County Executive Committee of the Harris County Democratic Party is hereby elect and designate Otis Tavagaro as chair, as campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee, and the County Executive Committee of the Harris County Democratic Party is hereby authorized and direct Otis Tavagaro and Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee Secretary Audrey Lawton Evans to take all steps necessary to substitute Otis Tavagaro in place and instead of Lily Schechter as treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party Federal PAC and as campaign treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee with all applicable government agencies and entities, and to take any and all steps and actions which may be necessary or convenient to achieve the intent of this resolution. I move the adoption of the resolution. Is there a second? There is a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Great. No, I just.
All right. Any opposed say nay. The ayes all have it. The motion is adopted. Thank you all very much. And I yield back to the chair of the Harris County Democratic.
Thank you, Jerry, for all those wonderful resolutions. Thank you all for trusting me with all of the things to sign over now. I now call on Lenora Sorolla Pullman, treasurer of the Harris County Democratic Party County Executive Committee, to present the treasurer's report and make a motion concerning the HCDP.
Okay. Thank you, our new chairman. The federal PAC, treasurer's report, the federal PAC is $90,310.84. The state PAC is $35,166.60. And the corporate PAC is $474.25, which gives us a total of $125,951.69. Thank you. Oh, okay. So now I'm going to do the extension of the budget resolution, which is up on your screen. The fiscal year of the party runs from July 1st of each year through June 30th of the following year. So with the current budget and with the party's authorization to spend money expires next Wednesday. Ordinarily, we would pass a new budget for the next fiscal year at our CEC meeting in June. But if we did that this year, our new chairman would not have had the opportunity to participate in the development of the budget where he would be stuck with for the entire year under his chairmanship. So to give the new chair the opportunity to submit his own budget next year in the CEC meeting, the steering committee has decided to propose to the party to continue spending the money at the current level for the next 60 days. And then the full budget will for the rest of the fiscal year will be approved at the CEC meeting in August of this year. This will give the new chair the opportunity to develop, 30 days to develop the budget and present it to the steering committee in early August and considered by the full CEC at the meeting in mid-August. So with that in mind, I hereby move that our current operation budget of the Harris County Democratic Party to continue at the spending levels established by the budget for the current fiscal year, pro rata on monthly base through August 31st, 2021, and that the Harris County Democratic Party be authorized to spend during each month of July and August 2021 in each of the expenditure approved by the Harris County Democratic Party Executive Committee or expenditures during the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021 at 1/1/12 of the total amount expenditures approved by the CEC of each category expenditures for the entire fiscal year ending June 30th. Is there a second on this motion?
I second.
Thank you. There is a second on the motion. Any discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion has been called. At the, a call, the conclusion, okay. A call for the vote by electronic poll. Staff will conduct an online poll. And we'll post the numbers.
The poll is posted.
The poll is posted. The 2-minute poll.
9%. 28%.
There you go.
Okay, the vote is as follows. Approve of 97%, which is 216. Disapprove was 1%. Abstention was 4, which is 2%. With that, the motion has passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Treasurer Coleman. How much I love you so much and doing all of that. Okay, I now call on Chuck Cruz, Interim Chair of the Resolutions Committee, to present the report of the resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hello, esteemed Democrats. My name is Charles Cruz. I go by Chuck. I am the interim chair of the Resolutions Committee. Everybody can hear me okay? So we had a meeting of the Resolutions Committee regarding the actions of Representative Harold Dutton of House District 142. The resolution that we passed in the Resolutions Committee was submitted to the Steering Committee and approved for inclusion on the agenda today. Feel free to read over it at your own pace. As a reminder, this was sent as an attachment for the invitation email, so hopefully most folks have already read it, but if you need to review, this is in front of you. A real quick summary, Representative Dutton revived SB 29, which was a failed bill, and did this in retaliation for one of Representative Dutton's priority bills being defeated. So this was done to our understanding as an act of retaliation, which would be detrimental to trans youth in Texas. And we felt that this was worthy of being censured for this action. So this is the resolution for the CEC to support the Democratic caucus in the Texas legislature censuring Representative Dutton. Raised.
So moved. So now the resolution is now open for debate. We will limit discussion for 3 for and 3 against, with each person having 1 minute to talk.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Chair recognizes Ms. Almeida.
Unfortunately, Mr. Chair, I rise because the Honorable Chairman, I make a motion to table the resolution calling for the, I guess, the censoring of the Representative Harold Dutton, because the Harris County Democratic Party does not have the legal authority to censor a state elected official. The only person that can do that is the legislator. This resolution needs to be sent back to the Resolution Committee to be revised in its wording. Can I get a second?
I second that. I second that. I had my hand up. Mr. Carol Galloway.
I second.
I second.
Mrs. Stephanie Wilkins, I said.
Okay, this is how we're going to do it so we can have a little bit of order. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. we are going to, like I said, open the floor for debate. What we'll do is we'll have
Mr. Chair, you cannot.
Miss Almeida, let me get through it first before you, let me have a chance to speak.
You're muted.
It does not have
You cannot.
a right to vote, Mr. Who keep cutting me off? A motion to table does not get a vote, Mr.
So here's what we're gonna do. First and foremost, you cannot be recognized unless the chair recognizes you. Number one. Number two, what we're gonna do is we are going to have 3 people speak for, 3 against.
Mr.
The first 3 hand, Ms. Almeida, if you cannot let me finish, we will remove you. Thank you. The first 3 people who put their hand up will be for the resolution. So everyone should not raise their hand right now. Remove the raise hand function from your screen.
Yes, it was on debate.
Well, question.
And then what we'll do is the first three people to raise their hands will be
Point of
for.
order, Mr. Chair. Point of order. Mr. Chair, please. Point of order, Mr. Chair.
If you have a point of order or you have something to say, raise your hand or put it in the chat. Ms. Almeida, I understand you have things to say, but we have to have order as well. So for me to get through these announcements, I can finish and then we can do it, is the first people speaking will be for. So the first 3 hands raised will be for. The next 3 hands, after we are done with the 3 people for, we will then move on to the 3 people that are against. I've been advised that
I know I'm right. I don't know why you to table.
Mr. Chair.
To table.
Oh, God, what is already is going off wrong?
It's already starting already.
Hey, folks,
It
we're never
sure
going to
is.
get through this vote if you all don't stop coming off mute or putting questions in the chat. If you have a point to raise, you can raise your hand on Zoom. If you cannot raise your hand, you can put it in the chat. If we have to keep muting people every 2 minutes, we will never finish this meeting. Thank you.
First of all, you didn't.
Thank you, Delilah. Okay, so Ms. Almeida, you raised a point of order, which is actually a point of order that is well taken. And because it is a point of order and it's a parliamentary point of order, it's actually a non-debatable point of order. And so what will happen now is that we will take a vote on whether to table the resolution.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
That's what
Point
I
of order.
said.
The motion was raised originally in the chat first before Amina Dent got to do it. So technically, the motion to approve the resolution is first via the chat.
The chat was not.
Was not recognized.
May I be recognized? I have had my hand up when the young man, before he even started, to put.
Give us one moment. We are creating the poll.
A poll.
Okay, the poll to be in favor to table the resolution is going live now. It'll be up for 2 minutes.
Oh, I see.
And this resolution is, again, to be clear, in favor of tabling, not in favor of the resolution. There's now 1 minute left to vote.
You good?
The poll is about to be closed. 5 seconds left. A motion to table consideration of the resolution fails. For those in favor, 82 precinct chairs voting in favor, it's 36%. Opposed is 123 precinct chairs, which is 54%, and abstain is 24, which is 10%. The motion to table consideration of the resolution has failed. Now we will, apologies, my video isn't on. Now we will go into discussion of the resolution. And like I said before, the first 3 people will be in favor of the resolution. After those 3 people talk, if they have a minute, up to a minute to discuss each person, then we will go into 3 who are against the resolution. So if you are in favor of the resolution, please raise your hand and we will call on you by the order of what we saw the hand raised. The chair recognizes Jonathan Miller, precinct chair of 0123. Jonathan, I believe you're muted. Hold on, Jonathan. I think you're muted. Okay, there we go.
I think it's good now.
You're here.
Thank
You're
you,
good.
Mr. Chair. I would like to speak in favor. Thank you so much. I would speak in favor of censuring Representative Dutton. First, I would like to say that he is putting out that SB15 did not reach out to him. SB15 has reached out multiple times before SB15 approved the censure on Representative Dutton. And what we can't do, I think this is the most important thing. We are in Pride Month right now. This is June. And what Representative Dutton did is reprehensible. That he would use trans kids as pawns for his legislation goes against the very fundamentals of what it is to be a Democrat. And that cannot be accepted in this party. And if we allow that to slip today, what does that tell us to other people that are trying to vote, that we're trying to convince to vote Democrat, the people that say, I don't see a difference between the 2 parties, not reprimanding this person for what the heinous actions that he did makes us no different. We have to stand strong and we have to stand for something, and we need to protect children, trans children, everyone, and we cannot continue to allow this behavior to happen. Thank you.
Okay, next hand I see is Kevin Hoffman from precinct 207. Please unmute yourself, Kevin. Hold on, Kevin, you're still muted.
We as a body do not have the ability to censor. What this resolution.
Hey Kevin, we can't hear you. You're not clear. You're muffled.
The resolution does not actually censor Representative Dutton. It is a mechanism for us to bring to the state body the idea of censure. We nor the state party can censor, only the representatives themselves as a body in the House can do the censor. We are only recommending a censor for what he has done. We don't want to. We would feel the same if there were any other representative that were maybe doing it to any other case, regardless of their makeup, who they are. We don't want to see this happen to other children, regardless if they're trans or not. This reminds me of other things from the Civil Rights Movement, where kids were not allowed to be in school. This is basically some of the same kind of ideas, that we're not going to be tolerant of various children because of particular issues that people may have with the children and who they are and the makeup of those individuals. And I think we as a group should actually censor and move forward with this resolution.
Thank you, Kevin. That's time. That's time. And the last person to speak on the resolution that I see in favor of the resolution is Daniel Cohen, Precinct Chair of 272. Please unmute yourself, Daniel.
Can you hear me?
We can.
So look, Representative Harold Dutton used trans kids as a pawn. It violates the very values and principles of the Democratic Party. It was mean. It was spiteful. People who use retribution in the Texas legislature don't belong in office. And if it makes me a purity pony to say that we should subscribe to our own platform, especially to people who have knocked doors for us, who have gone out and put their name behind the Democratic Party, and we're going to throw them under the bus, then I don't know what we're doing here. I think censor is getting off light. People have called for the resignation of Harold Dutton in the past. He has a long history of these problems. He's made statements that were bigoted, and I do not subscribe to his philosophy. It's time for us to take action. We hold our folks accountable. We are not the Republican Party. Thank you.
Okay, that closes the discussion. Excuse me. That's it for those folks who are for the resolution. Now we are asking those to raise their hand who are against the resolution. And I'm going to give folks a moment to put their hands down that we're in favor of the resolution, and then we'll proceed. Now raise your hand if you're against. The chair recognizes Precinct Chair Alan Provost from Precinct 205. Please unmute.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if we the Republican Party or what over here, because we talked to Representative Dutton. We're going to chastise somebody that we haven't talked to at all, nor have he been invited to talk to us to explain what he did, if he did what everybody's saying that he did. That should be presented to us right here now. And he have offered his an opportunity for individuals to meet with him and talk with him, and no one took that upon himself to do that. I don't think that with this resolution that you all are proposing, you all looking at turning Harris County blue. I think what y'all doing with this resolution here, y'all gonna turn it back to red again. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Provost. The next precinct chair I see up to go against the resolution is Precinct Chair Alfred Green from Precinct Chair 210. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Green, you're still muted, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm against any and all recommendations for censorship to Representative Dutton for his opinion, because I can feel that a lot of people would have that opinion, and I'm one of those. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green, for your comments. And last person to speak against the resolution is Ms. Anita Dent, Precinct Chair of 0275. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, please accept my apology. The only thing I was trying to enlighten everyone is that this resolution has the word censoring of a representative. This body cannot censor or call for the censoring of a representative. That's the one. You can't do that. The state can't do it. If I could we let Mr. The chairman of the Texas Democratic Party speak on this? Or if I would like to give some time to our attorney of record to speak on the fact that we cannot censor this. Maybe now people don't think I know what I'm talking about. So can I get the legal representative to speak on this, please? That we cannot censor. That's the only request I have. Whether I'm wrong on that.
And that's your time, Ms. Almeida. Give me 1 second. At this time, I'm going to recognize Marco, who's with the Texas Democratic Party, to paraphrase the rules within the Texas Democratic Party.
Hey, y'all, it's Marco Arantia with the state party. A similar resolution came to us within our resolutions committee and didn't move forward, but we did ask our state parliamentarian on his opinion on the word censure that Precinct Chair Almeida Dent did say right now. So I'm going to sort of paraphrase a little bit of what our state parliamentarian wrote. I think you can adopt a statement of censure or rebuke for a non-member of DIS. It just doesn't mean much more than that. There is more formal consequence for Rep. Dutton's actions, whereas there may be formal sanctions or for a member of the CEC, Courtier CEC, if censored, including the censure being used as evidence for removal from party office, grounds for removal from a meeting, or other kinds of discipline. Other parties have censured or rebuked non-members for conduct that tend to injure the good name of the organization, disturbs well-being, hampers its work, including the Texas Republican Party. Not sure that anyone should imitate their actions, but that is not the parliamentarian's decision. It is the body's choice, one way or another, to adopt a statement rebuking Rep. Dutton, but to be clear, it has no formal consequence and will also not hurt him in any way and may actually help him. But again, this is y'all's choice, not the parliamentarians. In the strict sense, Precinct Chair Dent is correct that you cannot formally discipline a non-member of the organization pursuant to Robert's Rules of Order or our rules for that matter. However, the party and the body makes public statements and concerning non-members at every meeting of the CEC, SCC, or whatever, including memorial, congratulatory resolutions, and other statements on message or policy. There's just not much difference between those public statements and the statements of rebuke or censure. Also, arguably, Rep. Dutton is a member of the party, even though he's not a member of the CEC or any party of the party apparatus. I can't pronounce that, of the organization and CEC partially manages. His actions certainly impact our organization for good or ill. The situation is not uncommon in most membership organizations. By way of example, The parliamentarian is a member of the state bar, though he is not an officer at any level of the state bar. He pays dues and have followed their rules just so he doesn't get censured, sanctioned, or expelled from the profession. This is an inapt analogy, but difference of degree are in that category. They're both membership organizations. In short, our state parliamentarian believes that the CEC, SCC can adopt a statement of rebuke or censure for a non-member. It just doesn't mean much formalistically and will have no effect on his ability to seek election as a Democrat or to call himself a member of the party. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco, for the clarification from the state's parliamentarian. With that said, the motion to table the resolution failed earlier. So at this time, and also I should state as well, Representative Dutton, the steering committee voted in favor of letting Representative Dutton come address the body. He was going to do so, but we learned tonight that he decided to forego that decision and will not be addressing CEC. So with that said, we had 3 who spoke for, we have had 3 who spoke against. Each person had a minute. And so at this time, we are going to put the poll up to vote. Either you're in favor of passing the resolution, you're not in favor of passing the resolution, or you will abstain. The poll is live. And to answer one of the questions, we had 3 speak for and 3 speak against. The poll will be up for 2 minutes.
Yes.
If you don't see the poll, please email Savannah Charles at savannah@harrisdemocrats.com and email her your vote. There is now less than a minute left with the poll opening. And the poll, and 2 minutes are up, the poll is now closed. Okay. The motion has been made to accept the resolution in support of censure of Rep. Harold V. Dutton Jr. of House District 142. The resolution passes with a vote of 169 precinct chairs to 74%, 41 precinct chairs nay, 18%, and 18 precinct chairs who abstained, which is 8%. So the motion the motion to accept the resolution has passed. And now we will head into announcements. First announcements, the Senate District Vacancy Committee have submitted their list on new precinct chairs, and I will be appointing all of them as precinct chairs pursuant to Texas Democratic Party Rule 3 E5B. Immediately after this meeting, they will be, immediately after the meeting, excuse me. They will be sworn in online tomorrow pursuant to TDP rules, will immediately thereupon become precinct chair subject to confirmation by this body at its next meeting. There are a total of a lot of new precinct chairs who will be appointed in this manner. New soon-to-be precinct chairs, swearing in of new precinct chairs will take place tomorrow night, June 28th at 6 p.m. via Zoom. Please register at www.mobilize.us/HCDP/event/398856. And the staff will be sending out an email to remind you. Our second announcement, Wednesday, June 30th is the deadline for the party to submit its list of election judges to the Commissioner's Court for appointment as presiding or alternate judges during the upcoming 12 months. Anyone interested in serving as an election judge during the next year must get your name to Pawasha Sharani, excuse me, sorry, Paulie, at the HCDP by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, June 29th, so we can get our list into the county by close of business on the 30th. Please send an email to Pawasha, and I'll spell that, PALWASHA @harrisdemocrats.com, or call the HCDP headquarters at 713-802-0085 if you have an interest in being an election judge. We especially need election judges in Commissioner's Precinct 2. So, especially if you reside within that area, please consider becoming an election judge and notify Paulie or the party immediately of your availability and interest. Wednesday is the deadline to submit our list for the next year. And oh, by the way, once you are appointed by Commissioner's Court, you will receive a confirmation letter which will ask you to contact the elections administrator to confirm your willingness to serve. Please respond to the letter immediately, because if you do not respond, it is vitally important that every precinct chair attend so we are sure we have a quorum. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank the entire HCDP staff. Staff makes this thing go. Trust me, I was there, and without them, we would be lost a lot of the times, especially Executive Director Delilah Otile, Candidate and Events Coordinator Savannah Charles, but also Mark Molikoff, who does our IT and data, and Angelica Kaufman and Lisa Rockford for communications, RJ Coronado, who's our training director, Rufi Natarajan, special projects, Holly Charwani, elections, and Sam Zuniga organizing for their tremendous job in making this election run smoothly and in keeping everything seamlessly on track during this transition period, which is an incredibly difficult and challenging task, but which they have handled like the true professionals they are. Seriously, thank you, HCDP staff. You all are truly, truly amazing. And now, before I entertain a motion to adjourn, I want to adjourn in memory of Larry Johnson. That's Rep. Jarvis Johnson's father. He was 77 years old and recently just passed. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Rep. Johnson, who had one hell of a session advocating for all of our rights. And now I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Jerry Bernberg, Precinct Chair 730. I move that this CEC meeting be adjourned.
Our second, Melissa Rogers. I see your second, and the CEC meeting is adjourned. See you all soon.
Okay.